Hello, welcome to Monday Movie Mayhem, where typically I, Oz, from Mr. Super Oz, have a set formula. I retro review, or me and the boys, we give a franchise the all or nothing treatment. I've introduced the Animation Celebration and the WWE Studio Slam. But this Monday, for Monday Movie Mayhem, I'm going to try a thing that I'm calling Current Critique. It's obviously not a retro review, it's not WWE Studios, it's not a whole franchise, and it's not animation. It's just, I watch a thing, it's new, let's talk about it, and also I just want to critique just modern things, if you will. Modern concepts. But before we do that, before we get to the current critique, let me remind you that there are limited first printings of my 68-page graphic novel, Everlasting Survivors, Volume 1, all day long, available from a link in the description below. There are limited first printings of the only 100 ever printed Jeff Hicks cover, and there are limited only ever 50 Nick Crook covers, limited runs of the only 50 ever printed Nick Crook cover, still available at Etsy.com. After the open, I will talk to you about last year's movie, Bullet Train, and more importantly, modern issues. I'm gonna be real, it's just a bit of a bait and switch. I am going to talk about the 2022 movie Bullet Train that I watched yesterday. However, more importantly than that, I just want to talk about, well, modern or current issues, whether it's in the cinema or in the home. And that issue is just the inability to focus and be in the moment. So if you've been listening to what I have to say here on the channel, you'll know that one of my primary complaints about going to see modern movies, whether it was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness or Spider-Man No Way Home, anything that is in theaters, it just seems as though you cannot have that enjoyment, that respect, if you will, that is needed to take in another world. And it's just so important to be able to lose yourself in a different place and not be, taken aback by texts or calls or even chewing and things. It's just my biggest complaint with, and maybe it's always been the case, because I don't know, I wasn't around in the first ever cinema. I didn't partake in the first ever home release of a movie, so maybe these things that I think are modern problems are forever problems. But it's just something that bothers me. And so I'm not gonna full on review step by step, beat by beat Bullet Train, and the reason being is because I feel incapable of doing so, because again, for what I've already spoken about, distractions, stopping, starting, the volume not being adequate for complete enjoyment. But I'm gonna stop complaining about my personal grievances, if you will, and just say the movie itself, Bullet Train, felt to me very much comic book-esque. I don't know if it was based upon a prior existing property, but with a lot of the flashbacks, the setup, the payoff, a lot of it, the film itself felt like I said, a comic book. And maybe it's because that's how I think of things, is in that storyboard, that graphical way. But as I'm watching the movie play out, I see characters, and I just think of the film as though it would have been a good graphic novel with the approach that it took to tell the story. I also enjoyed how Ladybug, Brad Pitt's character, was on a Bluetooth headset or an earpiece conversation with this person who turns out to be Sandra Bullock, but his handler throughout the film, and it really helped clarify his concepts and characterizations, because once again, much like a comic, we got to get into his psyche, because throughout, no matter what was happening, he would be able to tell the audience what he was feeling and thinking because of the additional character who wasn't in the scene or in the shot, but was within the story being told. And it felt very much how that within lots of comics or graphic novels, you can read what the character is thinking. So I thought that was quite beneficial. And again, with all of the cutbacks to tell prior stories, it really it felt very good, and that's the way I would rate the film, is a 4 out of 5, is a good movie. But there were multiple times where we would be with characters on the bullet train, and I would think to myself, oh, I wonder what led to this, what got here, and then, hey, within no time, we're being told precisely that. And so, the characters of Tangerine and Lime, they were very fun and whimsical. The Prince was clearly a cold-hearted villain throughout, and it was just fun to know that, or not know, but be revealed that the Prince was the heir to White Death's empire. So, but yeah, overall, like I said, the movie felt to me as though it could have been a great, and maybe was, I don't know, I haven't taken the time to look it up, but if you know, just leave a comment below, and I'll probably check on it after I finish shooting this, just because, I'm curious. But yeah, the movie felt like it would have made for a fun graphic novel, and I don't know if they plan on doing a sequel, but the way that it ended, it sure felt like they could, because Brad Pitt's character of Ladybug had issue with a character that we only see in a quick flashback scene, that being Carver, who is played by Ryan Reynolds. Also, we had a very short cameo from Channing Tatum, who feels like a character that could be brought back once again if they do decide to delve into the possibilities of a sequel. So, yeah, like I said, overall, I feel like it's a 4 out of 5 film. I do want to give it another chance, without conversation and interruption and stop-starts and low volume and people talking. So, yeah, if you have thoughts or feelings on Bullet Train, leave a comment below. Be sure to come back this Wednesday for the Wednesday Rewind. Tune in this Friday for a triple shot where I will tell you what I think, what I want, and a wild card pick for WWE's Royal Rumble 2023. And if you haven't gotten yourself a copy of my 68-page graphic novel, Everlasting Survivors, Volume 1, All Day Long, there is a link in the description for so that you can get yourself one of the remaining limited first prints that are still out there. Thank you. Later.